Coach, you want to start with an opening statement, and we'll open for questions first from the room, then from Zoom.
Yep. We've played a lot of games back to back to back, and then we've had a week of practice. Really took off. Watched some tape on Monday, took Tuesday off, so we've had Wednesday, Thursday, and today to really prepare for Memphis. So looking forward to playing. I love the game. It's been two really good games the first 2 years of the series. Expect no different tomorrow night. Obviously, we got a chance to see Memphis 3 times while we're there, just like they did us. Typical Memphis team, really hard playing, elite guard play. Williams is one of the best forwards in college basketball. So really, really good defensive team, well coached, and our guys got to really, really play well. So we're looking forward to our kind of first true road test of the year.
Yes, we've been asking this, but how did this week go for Ruffin, and what's the plans for him tomorrow?
Yeah, it'll be a game time decision. He's been limited. He went kind of non-contact on Wednesday, little contact yesterday, just seeing his progression. And then really the whole thing is how he responds the next day, and even up to game day practice tomorrow, and see how he warms up and kind of go from there.
Just what can you remember from that game last year, and just what that atmosphere kind of brings when these two teams play?
Yeah, it was a great crowd here. We hope we have a lot of Rebels in FedEx tomorrow night. Just a typical game, very physical. You go back and watch it a couple times, and as a game that Robert Allen got hurt in the second half, and we had really good guard play that night. Just a typical kind of last possession game that's been kind of really the series so far the first 2 years.
How's Robert? I know you mentioned he kind of tweaked his knee.
Yeah, he's looked a lot better this week. He tweaked it going into that tournament, and he just got that toughness. He was going to play, but he's got his pop back. He's had really two really good days of practice so far.
Upon looking at the film from Oklahoma and just that last 5-minute sequence and just throughout the game in general, what are some of the things that popped off, positive or negative? And with some of those issues kind of, I guess, in line with some of the maybe previous ones in the previous games, or just what was?
Yeah, we got up 5, and we had some turnovers. We had some fumbled balls right around the goal. Jay fumbled a ball. Should have been a dunk from Jamin. Robert Allen hit Jamin on a little interior pass. If he catches it, he dunks the ball. Fumbled that. Matt missed a couple really, really good shots. We ran a set play from Matt, and he settled. He should have gotten maybe to the rim. We got to be better offensively. Our ball screen defense late, let us down. And so obviously we got to be elite with that, with Kermit Davis, one of the best points in college basketball. So, just some things that we sure had our chances, and just, kind of an unexpected player from Oklahoma made all the plays at the end. A guy that really hadn't done it. And, he made 2 great left-hand finishes over Jay, a shot blocker. And so they just kind of made some plays down the stretch, and we didn't.
Aside from Ruffin and Allen, just overall team health, is it kind of where you want it to be aside from them? Or?
Yeah, we just still trying to fight through some different things. Javius got hit yesterday in 2 days ago in practice, so he'll be a game time decision also. And but that's kind of where we have the depth in our team. So if he isn't able to play, then obviously Robert Allen, Josh Mabala, Malik, Theo, those guys will step in and do a really good job.
What have you seen from Javius's games? These first 7 games.
Yeah, he just. He went the game before we went to Florida. He played 3 minutes and 44 seconds. And it's a great lesson for everybody that you just got to keep your head down. And we met the next day, and I said, you can either focus on the 3 minutes and 44 or start your season today. You start a new season every day, in the present. And that's what he did. He had really good days of practice, and it showed down there. He finished around the rim, blocked shots. So his progress has been really good, and we need some other guys just like that in the front line to really take some next steps.
I know you.
I was just, what did you learn about your team in that tournament last week?
Kind of what we learned even in the homestand. Except for Oklahoma, we really had some good second halves, and played well in the second half. We had some parts of Oklahoma we played well, up 5, and they turned it over, and we're just inefficient offensively down the stretch. Executing inline out of bounds, which is untypical for us. Just some guys in there, we didn't execute, went to the wrong places in some critical times. So, but I love our toughness of our team. I love the togetherness of our team, their spirit and their will, and I think it'll show up tomorrow night. It has to, because I know it'll be, two tough teams playing.
Ruffin was played in Orlando, obviously, and those are away games. But do you view tomorrow as kind of the first true road test for y'all?
No doubt. I mean, we've been Bahamas 3 games, neutral, and obviously neutral courts in there, played a scrimmage on a neutral court. So, yeah, when you really go in there and, they're going to have a great fan base that's going to be at the game. And, so it'll be a huge game for Memphis at home. Their fans always show up. And, so, yeah, it'll be a really, really good test for us.
Does tomorrow feel like a measuring stick game of sorts? Can you look at games like that?
I don't know if it's a measuring stick, but it's a game we sure look forward to. I'm sure Memphis does, too. That's why Penny and I decided to play it every year, because it's a meaningful game in December in the South. And that's great, and so it's a game people care about, and it's a game our players are looking forward to. I'm sure Memphis's players look forward to, and it's just, I think our net's around 50, their net's around 26 or whatever. So it's it's one of those quad one games that you can have on the road, a good net game for them. So yeah, it's just games. These are good games. You see them all around on TV right now that are being played that sure mean, a great deal in the middle of March.
In June, Ruffin was just talking about, having to, recover from this injury and how it kind of made him mentally tougher and really just kind of appreciate things. Now that he's kind of gone through this, which has kind of hampered him up until this point, do you feel like, that entire offseason, ever since torn the ACL, really just kind of prepared him to kind of tackle this and just take the approach?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for him. I feel badly for him. I don't know if there's a more who celebrated player in the last 2 years, been through what he's been through. First exhibition game back and the bone bruise, so he goes right back to rehab. So he played, 10 or 12 minutes, just kind of getting started, and it's back again. So it's been hard for him, and I think our team has been very resilient. Obviously, we have the emergency of a couple of freshmen that have played in his absence and have done very well. And, yeah, he is. He's got a good approach to rehab. He's got to keep that. That's the only thing you can do is just try to win the day every day, whether you're on the court playing with your teammates or rehab, whatever you may be doing. And but I know one thing, he's matured a lot, and I know he's just eager to get back out there.
You mentioned those freshmen, obviously been pushed into a little bit of duty because of some injuries, but are you surprised with how quickly they've kind of risen to the occasion?
Yeah, we knew both those guys were going to be really good players. And I keep saying Robert Coward's had his best week of practice. And his attitude's been unbelievable. So, but Omari, we saw it, in high school in some big games, AAU circuit against really good competition. But you're right, Mo really found himself in Florida. Like I said, TJ was hampered by an ankle injury. He's getting healthier and healthier, so you showed his toughness. Yeah, but both of those guys are, it's just what really good freshmen. If you got some toughness to you, with skill, can you really play in these high-level games? And those guys have shown that, they've been really effective in impact winning.
Staying on the topic of freshmen, with Malik seeing all this front court depth in front of him, and a lot of experienced front court depth, how do you feel like he's handled the challenge of, trying to rise up to, that their level despite being, 18, 19 years old? Yeah,
it's just what some freshmen go through. I look at some celebrated guys that go to Kentucky as freshmen, and then their minutes are down, and then all of a sudden sophomore, junior, their minutes go up, and he's had really good weeks of practice. His toughness is getting better. As far as be able to execute all the things that we're trying to do just defensively and offensively, he's getting better at that. He's had a good 2 days of practice. Just got to stay ready, because you never know when your opportunity comes. All I can tell you is Malik Ewing is going to be a really, really good player, and it's just some things. You see it in football. Just some freshmen go through some different things with people in front of them, and he just got to keep battling, and, who knows where Malik will be in January and February.
Once you get Ruffin back and you have everybody, have you ever had kind of the good problem of trying to put all those pieces together and get the minutes to the guys and just kind of see how that can work?
Yeah, it's a unique thing because of, at the time, you're going to try to put them together. If you had the 6 or 7 months where you just, they're playing together all the time, but to get a guy like Deshaun to come in and now, play with the other guys, with Amari and Matt and TJ and James and all those guys, so it'll be unique. It will be, and you'll have to kind of do it on the fly a little bit, because they really hadn't been out there very much together. You look and say, okay, can you play small? You can play small if you can rebound the ball. Tennessee proved they could do it last year, but Vescovy may be the toughest guy, one of the toughest guys in college basketball. And can your guards rebound? Can they go and be physical and play against, 6'6" 3-man? And so if you can do that, then you got some advantages, being, a couple point guards together, 2 or 3 point guards together and playing. And so that's something that we were hoping to be able to do this last, really in the homestand. That's what we're hoping, for that 4-game, being able to integrate and see it, So we're going to have to do it whenever Deshaun's available. Hope it's tomorrow night. If it's not, then, just in practice, we got to see him. That's the biggest thing. He's got to get healthy for practice where we can kind of see it and have those guys start playing together.
I think Josh Ball, he got 7 combined minutes in Orlando and in none of the final game against Oklahoma. Did that have anything to do with, with what he had to endure kind of in the preseason or that? Was that just kind of a coach's
Yeah,
decision?
it was both, but it was he's fought it. He's going to play tomorrow night. He'll get good minutes tomorrow night. He's practiced that way. I met with Josh the other day. We talked for a long time. He's been really effective, and he'll have an impact on this game tomorrow night for sure.
And I think you were talking at some point during the preseason about the depth you had on some of your teams at middle, and the depth that you have on your team now. I mean, kind of when you look at the personnel between back then and then, what kind of is similar between the two as far as team depth?
Yeah. We had some older guys that grew in our program that was with us for 3 and 4 years, and so they're just different players, but same good guys, but we played 10 and 11 players, but probably those guys had been together a little bit longer than what our team has been together, so, but it is just like, being able to absorb nicks and bruises throughout the year. I use it all the time. You look at it in SEC football, use the survival of the guys that have depth. And you just got to knock on wood and hopefully your very key players stay healthy, and absorb some nicks and bruises on the front. And I think same thing in college basketball.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.